close my eyes, I see a strange reality. Am I dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? You wake up feeling like you really don't belong. You can't explain it, but when you close your eyes you see familiarity. Are you dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? Okay, enough of the dramatic beginnings. Where are we? It is raining, it is snowing, big chunks. Oh, wait a minute, we gotta turn this off because this is behind. Okay, this is so I can actually chat with y'all. Let me see. Let's have the smiley face. Oh, let's wave. That's it. I thought I pressed it more times than that. I cannot say exactly what I'm looking at now. All these different size things, different brightnesses. We have Agnes. We have Agnes. Hello. I just went and turned on the chat, you know. So, husband number one sent me a picture from Japan of something. It's just so cute. I have been using Jane's Crazy Mixed Up Salt, right? If I had a shill for a company, oh, it's not a shill. I really love it. And I've been using it for, oh my God, about 40 years at least. So when I got married the first time, of course, I brought my Crazy Mixed Up Salt with me. And hubby number one had never seen it before, but he also discovered that, hey, this is actually really good and it's a shortcut. So he started using it as well. So even after we divorced, who thinks about these things? Well, picture he sent me today, 40 years after the fact, right, is a picture of Jane's crazy mixed up salt in Japan with all the Japanese writing on it. So I thought, that is so cool. I wrote back, are you in Japan? I'm assuming he is because I haven't heard back. So that's where his wife came from. So his daughter is apparently really getting into Japanese tradition. So he sent me a picture of his daughter in her beautiful kimono and then told me it took 5.5 hours for her to put it on. 5.5 hours. I love tradition, but when it comes to clothing, I'm not that committed. I will wear something else. So yeah. Okay, I'm trying to find cute little things to do here, but it's not working. Is that a hello? Is it a peace sign? Hi. I give you my heart. So today, I made my first little TikTok video. I think it was my first. I'm not sure because, you know what? Having to keep track of all of this social media all of a sudden, I'm not faring very well. I keep forgetting who I am. I've got 2 Twitter accounts, one for Toblerino, one for me. And me is pretty mouthy, so I don't really want to get Toblerino, who's sweet and innocent for a toe, I don't want her account being mixed up with my loudmouthed one. So I've already made that mistake several times, but today it's like, okay, my only Instagram and TikTok I thought were Toblerino. Well, it turns out one of them, or both of them, were started as the Dragon Elder, and I'm like, crap, that's right. I posted one video there with a card, another one like first thing in the morning, kind of a live thing. It's like getting this social media stuff is yeah, it's more for kids, I think. Now I am getting people who are liking these things, so it is cute, and I'm appreciative. I want Toblerino to be liked, at least. All right, I'll leave the chat open just so we know. Live now. If I don't know why the word "if" came out as "it." if you are awake, not Zazzle. Awake. How does awake? The word "awake" come into Zazzle? It's zazzling. I don't know, but anyway. Okay, Maui. Knock knock. Wake up. Hawaii. Okay, so I'm conversing with you guys via phone. Except for those of you who were conversing with me, oh damn it, on whatever I just pressed by accident. No, I just pressed the cards. Okay. I'm not going to touch anything for a minute. All right, so, hi. It's snowing, it's raining, it's snowing and raining. Although maybe it's mostly snow. Big chunks. I don't know if you're able to focus with this crazy light. This blinding fluorescent light. Well, since I accidentally clicked on my meditation decks, I'm going to go ahead and click one, which I didn't look at, but positive energy is always welcome. So let's go ahead and pull a card. No, we're not fortune telling, just in case you just walked in here and don't know what I'm doing. Neither do I, so we're even. All right, the clearing surge. I love this photograph for a couple of reasons. One, when I first started taking pictures, I was terrible, like most people who start taking pictures. I also only had a camera, a Kodak 110, which is this cartridge dropped in, and you've got these really tiny, tiny, tiny negatives, etc. Anyway, I was terrible at lining up shots, and so I would look at something and I would completely eliminate the concept of having a horizon. I just saw what I wanted to see, and I would move the camera, not me, I'd move the camera into whatever position it needed to be to take the photograph and get whatever I wanted in. As a result, there were lots of skies completely disconnected from the land, trees that were off on, 45-degree angles, because I just liked something on the tree, whatever. So I always thought, well, they were fun. Eventually, I did learn the value of having a horizon. Nevertheless, when I got this, I just started laughing because this person did exactly what I did, but unlike what I accomplished, this person managed to get a really good message out of it. So I can't claim I've done that, but this person did. A clearing surge. Now if you look, you see what looks like a fist punching into that wave is just a tilted landscape. It should be like that, right? Or something. Okay, I'm still not good at getting the horizons right, but oh, look at the reflection. No, you still can't really see the snow. Okay, so you see that. Actually, if I move it the wrong way, this looks a little lewd, doesn't it? Anyway, advancing to the next level, strong healing emotions, clearing the way. When I see this image, it's meant to look like a clearing away, like no matter what wave the ocean is throwing at me, in this case, the ocean of life. Come on, guys. I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to clear the way. I'm not going to be bullied by that wave. Sorry. It's just a Kindle. Okay. So, oh yeah, I guess you'd like me to read the rest of the card. Clearing Surge is the name of that card. It's called the Five of Water. It's a powerful ally and ultimately a boost of physical energy and emotional fortitude. Wow, I must have just gotten that because I feel like I'm wide awake and I've got no idea how many hours of sleep I didn't get. You will feel like you were on a roller coaster as you ride this gorgeous wave to a better, brighter, and more fulfilling life. The Five of Water brings with it a surge of cleansing energy and emotions that can feel almost overwhelming at times. When you are riding right on that edge toward breakthrough in the wave, just accept whatever emotions come up and trust that they are just passing by, clearing old memories and creating space in their wake. Until the strong emotions settle, bolster yourself with positive friends, books, music, or anything that offers a soothing boost to your energy and emotional well-being. So glad weed is legal in this state. Bottom line, there is nothing to fear here. You are simply clearing the way to advance to the next level. Okay. Not bad for an accidental card. We'll put that back down. Thank you. All right. Now if somebody messages me, I'll see it there. If somebody messages me here, I'll see it here and here. I think we're set up. Okay, so the projects for today. I have to make sure this really stays here. Roll of tape. Okay, so yeah, we had this from yesterday because Sunday is all about love. I'd like to just throw a little bit more color in here to kind of get it out of the way. What was happening with that magenta was bizarre. All the metallic stuff was coming out first, the aluminum powder, which lent quite a strange effect. Unexpected, but kind of cool, because, it's definitely, well, unexpected and different. But the different worked out okay. Just looks like I made silver petals here instead of magenta. But all of that is the magenta ink. Oh, yeah, all of that's the magenta ink with the shiny stuff rising. So let's go back. We're going to try that magenta trick again. after I make sure there's plenty of orange here, counter the magenta already down. Now these glasses are not really doing much in terms of getting rid of reflections. Did I cut corners? I don't think so. Is that copyrighted? Probably. I just wanna get done with this. Okay, I will make that magenta just because it's fun there. But we need a lot of orange here. Okay, no, this must be the troublemaker. I bet it is. Yeah, silly leaky pen. Yes, it is indeed. Probably I got most of the metal out of the way. It's finally settling down to just be a good solid bright magenta. Nice and clean. That was my favorite color when I was a little kid, magenta. And then I got sad. And after I got sad, I didn't like magenta anymore. I chose all muted colors for my palette. Maize, you know, mustard yellow instead of bright yellow. Slate gray instead of blue. Burgundy instead of red. Yeah. You'd think I was a lawyer or something. All my very sober colors. And then my aunt made me some bright clothes with like these colors, and I almost had a heart attack at 15. I was like, what, you expect me to wear these colors? Me? Everybody will notice me. I'm gonna stand out. I look like a popsicle. I look like candy. I hate it. Although I was too polite to say I hated it. Matter of fact, I didn't say anything bad out loud because the woman was so nice to make clothes for me in the first place. My mind was blown over that. Also blown because she made me 3 jumpsuits that were all from the same pattern and all fitted me completely differently, which was amazing in itself. Of course, it would have been handy if she made them while I was in the room. Nevertheless, I had something to wear that summer. Way more than what I started with, which was nothing. So, Aunt Eleanor, wherever you are, thanks, honey. Now, I believe my Aunt Eleanor passed away quite some time ago. She was an ER nurse, and both her daughters became ER nurses as well in New York City. Strong women, I'll tell you what. Well, by George and Frank and Jeff, look at that. We got all the orange done. Unless I decide to make marigolds, they're oranges. But we can call them not marigolds. We'll call them another plant, another flower. Let's see, we got our dahlias already. Zinnia and dahlias, that's it. Okay. Now, I'm going to set this aside because I have to show you what is going to be the end of my diet. What I discovered last night when I was looking for a way to eat my blueberries, aside from out of the hand. I'm kind of sorry I discovered it, but it's too late to go back now. I will never be the same. Neither will my waistline. Okay, ready to go. Oh. I will show you. Spice cake, just plain old everyday. If I own this, this is very inexpensive, and I probably bought it on sale, so it was super cheap. I'm gonna guess that this cost me about $1.50 at the most. You see, it's open. It's open because of the recipe I discovered last night. The recipe is a large mug, 6 tablespoons of cake mix, any cake mix, 4 tablespoons of plain old water. Whisk it up real fast and drop in your handful of fruit. Oh my God! turns out that spice cake is very much like gingerbread, only it's a cake. It's not as dense, but it's still definitely got ginger in it. It's like, oh, gingerbread with blueberries, only light and fluffy. It was exactly enough for one dose of dessert. One serving, I guess we'll call that serving. I'm looking at everything like a dose anymore. I can have one dose of sugar today. So, let's see. It's supposed to make 10 slices of cake if you make this into a cake. I was doing mug cakes before I moved over here. In fact, I haven't made a mug cake until yesterday. Since I moved in here, it was my emergency food over across the street. And I made it from scratch, get out all of the ingredients. And the cool thing about these baked mixes, unless you get something garbage, I mean, they're just as simple as you can get. They're just basically everything you've got in your cupboard to make a cake. Just, it's already pre-measured and pre-sifted and all that fun stuff is done. So those blueberries went down easy. And I've got a banana that's going to need some cooking. So, spice cake and banana. Sounds like another good dessert tonight. And it's just enough for one person. It's like perfect and nice and warm, and it stayed warm to the last bite. And blueberries, it only takes 1 minute and 20 seconds to cook in the microwave. And the secret to not having it turn into styrofoam or, some bouncy rubber is put a little dish of a little bit of water in it in the microwave too, so that it's evaporating from that bowl instead of all out of your cake. So it comes out good. Yeah, well, now that I know mixes will do it for me, I am so lazy when it comes to desserts. I'll go out of my way and make a nice dinner for myself, but desserts, I'm just lazy. There is something I would make if I had a mixer. The only mixer I have is the handheld blender, and it's not ergonomic. It's, a $15 blender I bought because I really needed a blender, and that was all I had in the budget. So it works fine if I'm whipping up a cake, or even like, scrambled eggs or something. I want to make them extra whippy. But the one thing I can't make, and I really, really want to make, is stuff with egg whites. And the egg whites need to be good and stiff. We're looking like 10 minutes of holding that sucker, and my wrists are not going to take that. This hand won't even take holding that sucker. It's just not going to work. So when the day comes that I have something that sits on my counter with a head that goes up and down and make big mixers, and I can just let it go and time it and watch it. Yeah, so I'm not able to have meringue. It's meringue I want. I want to do the meringue. I want to do macarons. I want to do, what do they call that thing? Where you make a big ring of it and you bake this whole, like a shell, and then you pile it up with fresh fruit. Is that right? Fresh fruit? Or maybe it's a custard layer and then fresh fruit. With me, it'd probably be whipped cream and fresh fruit. I really have had this craving to try these things, and then finally I broke down when we were in Mystic Village, and I got us a couple of macarons, and they were delicious. But I'm telling you, for the size, it's like conservative 2 bites, and I'm really conservative, and I did it in 2 bites. They're 1 bite size, and they're what? They're so expensive, like $2.75. No, I just cannot part with my money that easily because I just don't have that much to start with. So I want to make my own. And I happen to know, even with eggs and chickens having a problem right now, and prices and avian flu, I could beat the hell out of a few egg whites and get way more than what I paid for in macaron. I said, yeah, I want to make some. I know there's a way. Now what? Who is that? A baby picture must have come through. Hold on. Oh, it did. It's just taken my nephew a few days to respond to it. Our family dynamics are very weird on the phone because we have everybody working, or they don't like to take care of their texts and they don't respond. It's like, okay, so you send a text to one and maybe you'll hear back at some point, maybe you won't, but it'll probably, unless it's an emergency, take at least 2 or 3 days before you get a, oh yeah, I got that, that's cute. Which is why there are some relatives I sent today's video of Toblerina, my first, which was 2 sisters. I sent it to you, Oink, sent it to M, and and the Seder. That's it. The rest of my family did not get it, because I could be sitting here forever wondering if they got it, if they liked it, or am I freaking them out by decorating my toe? Toes. Today was toes. So, anyway, there are things I have to do today. First, I gotta put this back in the box, but we are going to get back to you guys. Darn. Aw, thank you for liking the video on TikTok. I just heard about it. Now this is great. Okay, this is what I was talking about yesterday, and I know this is so hard. Now, this deck came from Louise Hay, but it is the basic lesson that must be done before you can successfully go through what you can learn through Abraham and Hicks, Abraham Hicks, the connection there, and even higher to the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza. But this card on the front and back, I'll explain. Okay, the front one is Louise Hay's #1 raison d'etre. She was alive to teach people, I am comfortable looking in the mirror, saying, I love you. I really love you. Now, of course, after Sally Fields said that, it's been hard to say that with a straight face. If you're too young to remember that, you're spared. And then you can just say, in the mirror, looking at yourself, say, I love you. And if you feel weird saying it, keep saying it. Keep saying it until your subconscious mind believes you. Remember, subconscious mind is your little robot. It will believe whatever you tell it, good or bad. Now, that's a lot of snow. The brain is always going to go toward the bad because that's just a human conditioning from early childhood, and it sucks, and that's what we're trying to get rid of. So that's where, like, when things come up from childhood, we just have to look at it and then whack that mole out of existence and say, get out of here, I'm done with you. Yeah, I know you existed, but I'm no longer thinking about you. And when it comes up to test you to see if you really mean it, you just keep saying, yeah, I'm done with you because I love me. I love me enough to say, screw off to the dead past. So we have to learn to say, I love you to ourselves. And walk around going, I love me. I really do love me. And think about all the reasons to love you. What kind of person you have become. All the stuff you have surmounted to get where you are. All the battles you still valiantly go into knowing that you don't know the outcome, but damned if you're not going to try your best anyway. So that is what you want to applaud yourself for. Hug yourself for, say, I love you because you haven't given up. I love you because you are stronger than you thought. You've gotten through all this shit and you have survived, and also you have thrived. You've been enjoying this part of life and that part of life. You've been laughing, you've been sharing, you've been smiling, in between other stuff that you've had to deal with, like coughing. So love all of you, because the more you can love you, the healthier and the happier you're going to get. You're telling your body, when you keep saying this, to take care of itself, rather than let it just automatically do whatever the surroundings are suggesting, like getting older. Well, yeah, technically we do get older, but how fast or how hard we age is so much up in here and in here. So it starts with self-love. This back of the card, my heart is open. I speak with loving words. This is such an important thing because the heart by itself is the amplifier of your energy. So as I love that Dr. Joe has explained a few things in ways that made it easier for me to explain it to other people. It's things I've been saying, but he just kind of distilled things, which I love because now you can remember it more easily. Our bottom three chakras, 1, 2, 3, red, orange, yellow, those are all about dealing with our earth life. They're all about our tribe, our security, our fears, our sicknesses. All of it is consuming energy. These are the vibes that keep us in a human body. So the human body is going to reflect whatever our first three chakras or energy centers are working with. But once the energy starts going higher into the heart will amplify the energy. Instead of it sucking life out of you or using energy just to keep you alive and keep those centers going, now you're going to have the energy magnifying that goes automatically from heart to brain. And once it hits here, crown chakra, basically you can have any kind of amazing experience, from the transcendental to a spontaneous healing. All kinds of wonderful things start to happen the moment you're able to get that energy from the heart up in here. This is all a transcending the bottom. So just think of us, if you cut off at the waist up is all about our higher self, our spirit, our that which we are in the quantum field, versus the lower half, which is very grounded in earth, the lower vibrations. And we're very concerned about all these things, but unfortunately, the problem is that we just let energy go anywhere. We don't balance our energy, and our heart energy, a lot of our energy never makes it that high to where our hearts feel open and loving. Usually, especially if we're still in survival mode, the bottom three chakras are just constantly trying to rebalance themselves, from our sexual energy to our financial security to our ability to create whatever we want in this realm. So it's important for our own well-being to regularly meditate long enough, at least, to imagine your chakras being balanced, where all the energy is lined up where it needs to be. Of course, all the rainbows, all the colors in the rainbow are circulating through us at all times. It's not like energy just stays, but the centers can move a bit. We go out of balance. So it's kind of like having scoliosis of the chakras. It's bad enough to have scoliosis of the spine, but you can have a straight spine and still have your chakras a little off kilter. So just like in the old days when we used to do the elevator exercises, where we are bathed in the different color lights, working from the red up to the blue or purple, and then the white. You can do that yourself. It only takes a few minutes every day. When you wake up in the morning and you're still kind of floaty, if you can, unless it was an urgency that dragged your ass out of bed, like a dog saying, "I gotta pee, hurry," or your own bladder is screaming, try to stay in that floaty feeling between the just waking up and where all the anxiety and the past starts coming into the brain and getting you all freaked out. Anxiety is one of the things that, our cortisol levels go up as we're sleeping, but that's also raising our blood pressure when that happens. But it's also already right there to go into full-on anxiety first thing in the morning. So we have to try and we want to head that off at the pass by distracting our brain, not with a distraction like a cell phone, but something that's actually going to work better for us, which is stay centered in that floaty feeling. And while you're in that floaty feeling, deliberately choose what you would like to attract into your life immediately. not down the road. It's like, if you need money immediately, then you need to go there, but not go to the anxiety point where now you're not focused on the money, you're focused on the lack of it, because now fear is coming up. So you have to get it before that. So if money is going to invoke too much anxiety and you can't focus on something better, then back off a little bit and think about where you would like to be in a month. What would you like to see happening? The minute you start to go back into the past or what is, and anxiety starts to percolate up, you have to change your headset. You have to stop trying to manifest anything. If you try to manifest or attract what you need while you're in a screwed up state of emotion, it's going to backfire on you. Luckily, manifestations do not happen like that. And when we're really good, we can make things happen way fast. But if we think of something that's not to our own benefit, it doesn't just happen just because we glanced on it with our thoughts. You need to focus on one thing or another, but the tendency is to focus on the stuff that really has us upset. And focus on the problem just kind of deepens the problem. So, like we know already, wherever your focus goes, where your awareness goes, energy follows. You are directing the energy. So whenever you're out of control, especially when it's like fear taking over, I'm very familiar with it. So I know that I'm not saying something that's easy to do. It takes practice. You have to stay at it. But if you stay at it, A, it gets easier, and B, you'll start to see more of the fruits of your effort happening out of the blue. The synchronicities, things will come through when you relax. You don't have to tell the universe the details of what you need. Just be generally, this is what I want. This is what I need. This is what I'm going for. This is my focus. And then when you're focusing, make sure that your center is relaxed. If you feel the tension in your body, you are working from a place of fear. Fear and anxiety are not what you want to manifest. So you've got to get the feeling. That's where you can take your mind off and go, all right, let me put on a song that makes me happy. I think that one of the best things anybody can do for themselves is sit down and make themselves some playlists of songs that lift their spirits, lift their energies. Nothing sappy, nothing that makes you weepy. You're trying to raise your energy with this music. Now, the cool thing about music and why music is so powerful is something that you might hear if you listen to a bunch of near-death experiences. Because one of the things that I recall and others are impressed with is feeling like they are, well, they're hearing and feeling music. Like a heavenly choir, the heavenly orchestra. It's orchestral, and yet you cannot name an instrument. It is the most amazing music that goes all the way through you, and you vibrate with it, and still you can't name the note, but you know it. And it's like a song you've always known when you hear it and you feel it. Well, that's our nature. That's our natural, whatever, when we're not in, dealing with keeping all this heavy matter together in a cohesive form. When we're free of that, then we are able to hear that symphony. But in the meantime, music still has power here. You can create song lists, listen to different music, find something that you can go for an hour, nothing but uplifting, epic music. Let music lift you when you can't do it yourself. Because there's lots of times when life is just hard and we're faced with things that we don't know how we're going to handle them other than just trying to survive them. While we're in those modes, we are not creating what we want. We have to work on the focus. So, like I said, every time you catch yourself thinking of something that's bringing your energy down, you can feel it in your body. Let your body be your guide. And I know sometimes the body has other problems that are distracting, and it's hard to tell one from the other. I saw a short from a comedian that was talking about. Now I know that the first thing he said was it was going to piss off a bunch of women, because he said, you know, you women who have babies, because he was talking about his wife. His wife had gone through labor, but she did not want to take anything. Whoops, she didn't even have an epidural, and she went ahead and he said that was bad. That was bad. I said, but he said, now women, I think I know what it's like to give birth. And of course, you hear the murmurings in the crowd, and he's like, I once had so much cheese that I swore I was giving birth. And he knows. And so he yelled to his wife, I think it's crowning. He was like, yeah, you can have extreme pain. But anyway, yeah, that's just one of those stupid things I laughed at today. And that brings me off the subject of what else we have to do today. So what I have to do today is Toblerina needs a little gem attached that we can use as like a button. So we're going to do that. I have to find the button. I haven't decided what that button is going to be. Maybe a heart. Ouch. Let me look. I think I know where we have a little red glass heart beads. I know. Oh, that's cute, but it's not red. No, that's not red either. That's cute, but it's not red. Now this is the one thing I can't bring to the table. It is too precarious. It has 35 drawers that slide out on their own. Ah, there we go. I thought I had that. Will it work? Yes, I think it will. Okay. Of course, it's not the same red. Oh, the heart. My brother was having a heated argument with my mother. Which one of them is the poor thing? Your brother or your mother? Sarah is finishing up making a pasta salad. Going to resonate now and fill you in on yesterday. Oh, good. Whoops. Sorry, Toblerina. All right, I'm going to have to do a couple of things. First, make sure I've got a needle that will go through the bead. I'll resonate with you shortly. First things first. Yes, that one works. All right. Now, oh, look at that. Actually, black thread is probably the best bet. Here, we want it to be kind of invisible. You feel sorry for both of them, huh? A heated argument. That's a drag. Has it been resolved? Have they settled their butts down? Is everything okay? Oh, look at the arrogance thinking, I can get this through without any help. No, we need the magic needle threader. Because even with glasses, my eyes ain't that good yet. like magic. Yep. All right. I'm going to have to try this on Toblerone. It's an existential problem. Oh, oh, ah! Well, I have no such problems today. I'm in a great mood. It's snowing out. I got a cup of tea. My life's perfect at the moment. So let's try this on Toblerone. Let's see how this looks and where we have to stick that heart. Right. Oh, in the middle of that red one. Okay. Right in the middle of there. Interesting. You can't bear my mother's attitude at times. My mother can only be herself. That's true. At least for the moment. Well, that's a tough one, Charlie. It sounds like your mom is, well, like I said, I'm going to bet money that she's going through menopause, unless she had a hysterectomy years ago, in which case, you poor guys. Well, he is your brother, and he was the first one your parents had to learn on. So he probably got a lot more shit than you. Just, for that. Nothing intentional. It's just, it's hard to grow up. Oh, we can leave it at that. It's hard to grow up. Harder to be a parent while you're growing up. That's why some of us decided not to do it. Oh, no, you don't. I know I'm lousy at sewing. Even after all of these costumes, I still stink. But we're not letting you get knotted there, no. Not after doing all this weaving. Getting the needle threaded as if I knew what I was doing. Damn. Oh, I'm assuming it's mostly her, but I'm also assuming that she's also got menopause, which is making things worse. This is not a good time in a woman's life. But I'm not making excuses for her. I'm just saying that's a factor. And your mom just needs to be taught how to communicate better. Which, of course, is not likely to happen without therapy, because that's what therapy is for. Somehow I don't think that you're going to be able to get anybody in your family to therapy. Well, A dark red glass heart against red thread. Looks kind of black. A black heart. It's not your fault at all. Your mother's problems are not your fault. You don't compensate for problems. You have to handle problems. There's no compensating. Is your brother still living there? Come on. No. You know how to button. There we go. Behave. I don't know. It's so big. I think it's too big. It's too big. Honey, you don't know shit about the natural processes of a woman, so don't comment on it. You are not making any effort to understand what she's going through because she's been dismissed as being basically very emotional, not logical, and you don't like her communication style, which I get. But yeah, I could see her getting pretty pissed off about your brother not living there, but making sure she still ends up doing freaking laundry. Does he at least clean up the bathroom after he showers? And what about the toilet bowl? Do any of you guys clean your piss off the toilet bowl? Do you know how upsetting it is for women to have to constantly clean piss off toilet bowls? We don't like it. Yeah, right? He's old enough to go out and live with his girlfriend, but she's not old enough to do his laundry for him. And he's not old enough to do his own fucking laundry like a big boy. A natural process doesn't mean you can do a whole lot about it. I suffered for 10 years with menopause, and there was nothing I could do about it. Well, that's an accomplishment, Charlie. Kudos to you because you are the rare exception. Orion takes care of it himself. See? Some do know. Most don't. I still can't believe how men the men who don't see what they do. All right, we need a tiny, what are we going to use? How tiny can we go without it being disappearing? Do you understand menopause? Do you understand what's going on? Everyone's, number one, their menopause is a little bit different. All women do not suffer the same way. And for some reason, no one in the house that lives with a woman who's in menopause can figure out how to help her when she needs it the most. Yep. Hell, I was on anti-anxiety medicine for 3 years trying to get a grip on the hot flashes, which were extremely debilitating, exhausting. 14 a day. But it's different for everyone, and the problem is that you find yourself going through all kinds of weird shit, weird mental stuff. It affects your brain, affects your emotions. It makes you more emotional, makes you cry more, it makes you sweat more, it makes you feel like you're dying, it makes you feel like you're going to be abandoned, you get paranoid. All kinds of shit like that can happen. You don't know. That's what I'm saying, is your mother is at the age when most women do start menopause. All right? I was 51 when my pause completely was there. So you don't know what stage your mom's at. She may not be completely in menopause until next year, for all you know. She may have already been through it. She may be fighting it. A lot of women go completely depressed when they stop getting menses, which is what menopause is, the end of menses. Their body goes through change. Like it did to start puberty, it's the opposite of puberty. It's the winding down. It sucks. And women are expected to just buck up. Like they have to buck up every month with period cramps. Buck up with having to spend money on ladies' hygiene things. It's physical and mental. And then, the poor women that go through it extra young because they have to go on chemo, which puts them into menopause, where they have to, if they want to ever have a baby, they got to freeze their eggs because they're going to be, whatever's left is going to be killed by the chemotherapy. It is hard being a woman on this planet, and we don't get shit for the respect that we deserve. Oh, oink. It is very unfortunate. Well, I went through the worst of the mental stuff in my perimenopausal phase when I was 43. I had 3 years, about 2.5, 3 years, somewhere in there, where I wasn't menopausal, but my hormones were starting to drop and my brain was starting to break. And that's when I lost track of my age. I was 42. I thought I was 43. I kept telling everybody, and I got convinced I was 43 when I was 42, because that's when the actual peri started. And then at 43, I really was 43. And then when I was 44, I was still conditioned to 43. I went through all of 44 thinking I was 43. So I was 43 for 3 years. It was very strange. It's just the brain has to go through all this wind up and wind down, and the body has to go along with it. And so many women start to feel like, I don't have a period anymore. I'm no longer a woman. I've missed by spending all that money on tampons and Kotex and new sheets, etc., etc. You gotta see on Netflix, oink, you've gotta see Chelsea Handler's, should be up there, new special, stand up. I love that woman. This was definitely one of the best routines of hers I've heard. Oh, it's her newest, so of course it's great. Maybe that little heart. Is that small? That's big. That is a bit smaller. Let's see. I got these little tiny skulls, but they're too big for Toblerina. Although maybe I can make one as a necklace for the right foot toe. Oh yeah, all the moodiness, the depressions. Oh God, the depression. My life is over. And of course you feel unattractive. At the same time, you're hornier than you've ever been in your life. So of course you're bemoaning how you look at 50. Oh my God. Now I did not go through a lot of that because fortunately I never saw myself as a beautiful person. I mean, a beautiful woman as a person, but I never saw myself as a beautiful woman externally. I always actually thought of myself as homely, plain Jane. So I didn't have a big deal about that. Like, oh my God, I'm getting older. It was kind of like, well, can't stop it. So if I'm going to be an old lady, I'm going to be the cutest damn old lady I can be. And see how that works for me. All right, the star is just a little too small because that'll pop right out. But that heart should do it. We'll give it another try. Yeah, kind of, yeah. It's like, well, now I don't have to worry about getting pregnant. But I'm too sweaty to do anything. My body would be like, oh yeah, let's get it on. And the next thing I know is, get away from me, you're touching me. Ah, ugh, ugh. You know, sweating to death. It's like, of course, I had the great luck to go through menopause in North Carolina. The summers of hell. One thing I can say is it is a good thing I did not own a gun when I went through menopause. That would have just been a terrible thing. Am I still? No, okay, I'm still streaming. Okay. Yeah. Am I still live? Okay, I guess it is. All right. Anyway. Yeah, I can see why you have guns, you have menopause, and you have southern summers. It's enough to get dead over. During those times, I'm like, just stay away from me. But then you go, but come, I love you, come here. Oh, get away from me. But I love you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap at you. Actually, I don't think I said that once. I wasn't really snappish. And lucky for Glenn, he was working full time when I went through the change. He did not have to deal with me at my worst because he was at work. And I tried to make sure that by the time he got home, I was back to being a human. Fortunately, we were growing weed because that's the only thing that got me through that and also kept him alive. Because you know how, like, we always talk about having, well, we don't talk about it, but the best teachers do, about having a rampage of love, of just pushing all those loving feelings through your body and into the universe. That wasn't what was happening when I would have to go look at his bathroom to clean it. We both had our own bathrooms. Actually, I shared mine with him because it had the shower. But his was just his. And, yeah. So it was sometime during menopause that I came to the decision that he was going to have to start cleaning his own toilet. It was the best thing I ever did. Sorry it took me so many years. Okay, now I think we got it. Come here, girl. Got you fancy new dress. The strange hook there. Come on, get through that. Well, that's not the best little heart bead, but it is a heart bead. It doesn't really do anything for this outfit. So I might end up just turning it around and making it a shift. And not really making this bead visible. No, sir, I don't like it. We will have to do something else. Oh, but on the subject of fashion, Iris released another amazing collection. It was shown underwater. Carte Blanche. That's what it was called, Carte Blanche. It was amazing. You know, that woman has been doing, everything's been leading to this, I think. She's been working with emulating nature in her fashions. And this time, she went ahead and did these beautiful, amazing costumes that are displayed in water. They're not like you'd walk down a regular runway wearing these things. It was the way they come alive in water. Also, the way they just kind of float dead on the top of the water when everybody's done their thing underwater. It's really cool. So you might want to see it. It's a few minutes long. I think I tweeted it. I'm guessing I tweeted it. Okay, so let's see. Oh my goodness, that snow is so pretty. It is just starting to stick to the grassy areas, but it's not sticking to the asphalt. It's too dark and black and warm. So I think we're expecting about an inch and a half, something like that. I'll have to look. Podiatry today. You know. All right, let's see. Today, 100% chance of snow Whatever we get today is going to be melting tomorrow, because tomorrow we're getting a high of 42 and sunny. High of 38. It's 37 right now. Wind chill's making it 29. That's why it's snowing instead of raining. About an inch or less today of snow. That's not bad. Tonight's going to be hellish. Very, very cold with very gusty winds. And then Wednesday, more snow. I don't mind, but it looks like it's going to be partly cloudy and mostly cloudy until next Monday. So we have a whole week of gray. Okay. I locked Doc's like. I'm waiting for Thursday. There you are. On Thursday for me. Well, we're going to have clouds. Lots of clouds. Aloha. So Maui, I'll have to show you what I learned this week, yesterday. Any cake mix. Mind you, these are less than $2. Although on Maui, I don't know. They're very cheap. But 6 tablespoons cake mix, 4 tablespoons water, put in a large microwavable mug, a minute and 20 seconds, and you have a cake. A warm cake. I had the spice cake with a big handful of blueberries. I cooked the blueberries, and it was like gingerbread with blueberries, which if you told me about it, I would have gone, but it actually was really, really good. So good that I'll be having one tonight again. I'll be doing banana tonight. So, yeah, I like it. I can get a lot of cake out of that one without making a whole cake. And it's just mixing water. It is. It's like magic. Remember that. 6 and 4. 6 cake mix, 4 water. It's good. So, okay. So we got a button on Toblerone here. We'll go put this back on you just because, you know, modesty. And let us put this away. Okay, now, Toblerone needs a towel. I don't have a towel for her, and I don't have any unstained human-sized towels that I can cut up and make into a miniature. So I'm going to have to do it the weaving again. Hey. Not behaving and not behaving. Won't let you cry. I had a piece. Wait a second. Where's my live chat? I had a piece of the Boss's cake. Cake Boss's cake. No kidding. What flavor was it? Was it one of those fancy schmancies designed to impress? I have been watching a few episodes of the Cake Squad. Or no, the Bake Squad. That's it. Bake Squad. And I have to say, it's fun. But, you know, I'm starting to get tired of watching all these baked things where I don't get a chance to taste them. I want to taste these fancy schmancy cakes. You watch their faces, you look at the beautiful things, you go, and there's no satisfaction anymore. But they get to eat it. Look at that, they're not going to eat that whole cake. There's not even a studio audience. And the people who bake them, you know, it's like, how much are they going to eat? Let's be real. Oh, a confetti cake. I cannot imagine those tasting good, actually. How much confetti can one eat? It's going to taste like confetti. I mean, that's just plain sugar. I had pizza yesterday. What the hell? So, did you get it? What, do you think he was concerned you might not have been the real Doc? Your baby Doc? Oh, how cool. I hope the adults got the chocolate. The ones who can appreciate fine bakery. How that look? Oh, maybe a little classy. A little silvery. I don't know. Let's see. We got strange. Some of these are not as nice as the others. Like they're missing a step here. I think. All right. We want it to look like a towel. Right. This is too fluffy. That's something. This is just crap. I know, right, Doc? You could say, well, do you want all of this tip? Give me my frickin' pizza. Asshole. So, was it a Hawaiian, a native, or was it a haole? The Cuddle 3. Oh, no. Oh, oink. Yeah, that's enough to put me off the cake. Damn. That looks kind of classy. That looks kind of expected. Maybe I should use, yeah, I'm going to use all three. Oh, wait, maybe one for a little deeper for contrast. Hold on. So is he intimidated? You're so intimidating, Doc. Oh my God. Not. You just look like an average guy. I mean, no offense. You don't look threatening. Stupid people are everywhere. What can you do? They don't care. They're gonna stay stupid as long as they dare. Try not to care. Oh, me neither. Are you kidding? That makes me think of Sheldon. I don't mind you bringing back a piece of birthday cake as long as the old girl's blow is clean. Oh, I guess so, huh? Gosh. You're so hard to get used to. You're so weird. It's so strange. Let's try doing it this way. I never liked Pizza Hut, to be honest. And actually, I did not like Domino's until I had Domino's in Pennsylvania. The Domino's in York, Pennsylvania is really good, much to my surprise and delight. Oh, no, you don't. We're not going to have that. I need you to be nice and tight. Right. A doc is a doctor. If you have doubts, you can stand there and go, well, would you rather I put your tip on my credit card and I'll just pay cash for the order? Everyone seems strange. I don't know. It is a strange world. Yeah. Don't start. I think this is a good color for a bath towel. Oh, I would have too. Give me my pizza or you're not getting the tip. Asshole. Got a problem with me, buddy? Well, you know, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. There's a lot of other seniors around you that might be a little loco. And who knows what he has had to deal with people coming up to him. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. That pizza for me? We've heard shit like that all the time. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I thought something was wrong if I ended up on the same side. This just goes here. Title. Stay there. Okay. Nice. Even though these are actually all the same, you know, they're equidistant, there's a little eye game here that plays with shadow. Makes it look like a couple of them are closer together than they are. Ah, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I made a run because of not being able to hear them on the speaker downstairs. So I made a beeline, met them at the front door. Thank you, people. I gave you the number to ring me. You couldn't remember it 2 minutes long. Fine. Stand there for a half an hour and try to figure out how the console works. You can look up my apartment number by name. In what way? Where'd that end go? Aha, when this happens. Wow, it's really coming down. It looks pretty. Oh, it made a knot. Isn't that lovely? The pizza world is against you. Now, let's not get paranoid and create new problems. Okay, what did we learn this week? Okay, last week. It's Monday. I guess it's a new week. What did we learn last week? You can have a reaction to something, but if the reaction is not happy, don't stay in that reaction. The longer you stay in that reaction, the more negativity you're bringing to yourself. The more you're creating an energy field that you don't really want. So don't pay more attention to things. This is unimportant in the scheme of things. In the end, you got your pizza. Was it good? Or was it like I remembered? Yeah, that's usually the problem. It's not likely because they have territories they have to stay within. I'd be surprised because that's a whole franchise deal, you know? They pay for that exclusivity for that area. Unless you happen to get a manager who didn't know what he was doing, which is always possible because, the world. Oh, that is so nice. I don't think you can see. I can't see it in the just an off day. Well, then leave it yesterday. Yesterday was off. Don't make today off with it by focusing on something that's now in the past. It's done. You got your pizza. You woke up this morning. What's today? This is what I mean about whacking up the mole. Don't go out there whacking real moles. Each mole represents, each problem represents a mole. You got to whack back down a problem that comes up, like staying stuck in a negative situation. That was yesterday. The pizza world is not against you. Just saying that, you're telling yourself the pizza world is against you. That makes everybody who makes pizza automatically, energetically against you. That's not what you want. Don't say it. We have to get in the habit of saying what we want, not what we're afraid of happening. And we all do it. It's a practice to catch what we're saying. It's a practice to catch what we're thinking. So you just gave us a whole bunch of examples right here of exactly the kind of self-talk we want to catch and destroy to prevent it from creating pathways in our brain and therefore pathways in our whole energetic body. The minute we say anything's against us, like it's a big thing, that makes us the victim. Right there. We're victims. We're victims of somebody else's actions. It's their fault. It's their problem. And we're the ones suffering their issue. But is it? Every time we magnify that by, oh, now you've already set up an expectation that the next time you order pizza, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have to start Xing that out in the ethers. You have to counter it now. I don't think you're at all ready to be a millionaire. You do not have a millionaire mindset. You just have the desire for money because of the fear, because you don't have money. That's not the same energy. You are focusing on the lack of what you want, not what you really want. You don't know what it's like to feel powerful enough to have $1 million. And you don't feel lucky, so without feeling like a lucky person, then you are automatically not lucky with the lottery. So that's not where your money's coming from. So if you're ready to be a millionaire, where's the money coming from? Where do you feel deserving? Because it's going to come down to that. If you feel deserving, you feel worthy, and of course you are worthy and you are deserving. That's not an actual question, but the universe thinks you're worthy. But if you don't, that's where the energy stops right there. It's not what the universe sees for you. The universe sees you as unlimited. The universe sees you as a beloved child of it. But that's not how you feel about you, and that's not how you feel about your life. And until you've changed that part of you that keeps repeating that, you're not going to have extra anything. Your mindset is not about having, it's about what you're missing. You have to practice feeling what it's like to not have to want. You have to feel happy with everything you've got. And you've got to see everything you've got as being enough for right now. You've got to be okay with it so the universe can send what's around, what you really can get, what's near you, what's fastest, what else is in alignment with you. Like you go to school and there's always someone who's a chick magnet. Good. Why is one kid the chick magnet, even if he is the biggest doofus? Why is he the one that seems to get all the girls? And you just watch him getting the girls. Because he either doesn't care, so he's not putting up any resistance, or he has enough confidence, so no resistance. But everybody else is all about, like, am I good enough? Do I smell good enough? Do I look good enough? Do I have enough money? They're so full of doubt, which is normal for young people. Then they would be pushing people away. They want it so badly, they're pushing it away. You could just hire somebody to make pizza when you want it instead of having to maintain a whole restaurant. Yeah, because most of it will be left because it doesn't take $1 million to open up a Pizza Hut. Although nowadays it might. I was looking at some franchises, and you have to have, like McDonald's, I don't remember when I looked it up. It was a while ago. You had to have $1 million for operating capital. In other words, you have to have enough money to keep you going through the first year. And some of them want you to be able to have enough money to keep you going through the first 3 years, which is the average it takes a business to establish itself. 3 years before you start making a profit. So you can have whatever you want if you're clear on it and you feel like, yeah, I can have this. I can feel it. I feel it in the energy field. I feel it in the quantum field. I feel it around me. I know we can have this. And it can be kind of fast as long as you don't get in your own way. And that's usually what we do, is we get in our own way of our manifestations. So think about what you really want and not waste your energy on stupid shit that you really don't want. It's just like, it takes focus to get what you want, no matter what. So if it's going to take all that focus, don't you think it should be worth it? No, we'll have to do that last. Now, for years, we've been talking about the basics of the law of attraction. And we were talking about it before it was called the law of attraction, before there was the movie The Secret, years and years before, man. Like, let's see, I was teaching the law of attraction as the power of mind back in 1976. And I was just teaching stuff that was being taught in 1902. So it's not original. But the proof is, constantly we're seeing the results. People who actually practice the meditation, practice being focused, practice changing their energy, practice changing their personalities, essentially. You cannot be someone who walks around like a loser and win. So if that's part of your personality, you've just gotten used to having loser kinds of reactions to things, then that's what you're going to get, is the losery stuff. But if you are more focused on what it is you desire, it changes everything. You can get what you want without having to freak out. All right, now let's do this. Well, it's convenient knowing that this is always, her dresses are 11 strands. 11 strings for the warp. Okay. So again, if you want your world to change, you have to change. You cannot keep going back to the same mental habits and expect tomorrow to look any different than today. It's up to us to identify what our poor mental habits are so we can change them. A poor mental habit is thinking about all the stuff that you can't change versus what you can change, what you want to change. You had a math test, and so-called, why is it so-called? It was a math test. Was it labeled philosophy? So what are you telling me? You didn't study again? Or you studied and you did better? Or math is just not going to be your thing? Well, Doc, although that made you feel better, that's really more negative programming. You're comparing yourself to people who fucked up. Don't compare yourself to people who fucked up. It's not a great thing to be better off than they were. Feel bad for them and then look at what you've got and say, it's not even how can I make this better? Sweetie, it's about what do I want? You have to have your eye on the prize. What is that prize going to be? It's up to you. Nobody in the world gives a rat's ass what that is. It can be anything, because it's all about you. It's the only thing in the world that can be all about you. Nobody cares, all right? Nobody but the universe. The universe wants you to succeed. The universe wants you to be happy. But the universe wants you to have whatever it is you're thinking most about, because the universe assumes that whatever you're giving most attention to is what you want. Yeah, I understand. You're still not studying up to what you're capable of doing. That's what it comes down to. I like you, but don't think I'm going to make excuses for you. No, you did not ask me to make excuses for you, but I don't need to hear excuses either. I mean, you're going to live with whatever you're doing. Your choices, your actions brings you to whatever you end up with. What do you want to end up with? Even if you don't want to go to a university and study physics, you still, if you have decent grades behind you, if you decide somewhere down the road you do want to go to school, you will have something to start with. And by the way, people like me, I can take tests for life experience to count toward my grades, because I've been around that long. You can't do that yet, but eventually you can. Just depends. You can be many different things in your lifetime, Charlie. You don't have to settle for one. Yeah, this is crappy thread. This is the worst thread I've used ever. From now on, I'm not getting Chinese thread. So in keeping with the understanding that your brain is your own, your life is your own, the universe will support you if you are doing something. If you are just going to sit around and reflect the past, other people's past, your past, but past. It's another way of keeping yourself a victim instead of an actual survivor or a victor. We don't want to be wallowing in the past. We don't want to compare ourselves to others. Comparing ourselves to others, number one mistake. Nobody is you. Nobody's like you. You're unique. Doesn't matter that you're a human being and you've got all these different characteristics and tendencies that every other human being may have. You're still an individual. Oh yeah, Facebook can be very time-sucking. That's one of the reasons I don't spend much time there at all. Dr. Joe Dispenza has a Facebook page I haven't been to. I don't do Facebook. I mean, I do it absolute minimally. And the only reason my page is still up is I have been too distracted and too busy to make another page so I can transfer my SimCity game to it so I can delete my page. I don't want my page on there with all my photos and stuff because Facebook has made it clear. If you post anything of your own on Facebook, they can use it without paying you. They can take your photo and use it in an ad, and you have no say. So I don't want to give them the freedom to use all my art and my photos, well, that, free of charge? They're using my data to sell stuff to me. Why should I give them my stuff for free? One of the things that we have to watch out for is people telling us that because we are focusing on that which we desire versus them, that we're selfish. Yes, be selfish. That's what you're supposed to be. Selfish doesn't mean depriving others. If you can offer them something and you want to, fine. No one's saying don't do that. When it comes to your time, your ideas, all that, keep it to yourself. You don't have to share everything. You do not have to give away everything. You need energy for you. If you can't make your own desires happen, how can you do that for anybody else? Now, we've gone through different exercises over the years, and one of them was what I talked about earlier this morning, is making a playlist of happy music. A playlist of nothing but music that lifts you up. Music that energizes you. Music that encourages you. Music that's got happy lyrics. Do you have a list? Can you put together a list for yourself? If I told you that it's going to make you rich, to put together a list of happy music, would you do it? Can you go through the effort of finding an hour's worth of music or more? Of nothing but music that makes your spirits go up? Yeah, exactly. They're getting free ideas from the public instead of from the writers they're paying. Or the writers they're paying have to go over all of those ideas and see if they can incorporate anything because they're stale. They're stale and they're using, well, you know what they're doing. Rewrite, reruns. Oh, look, that was such a good show. The Brady Bunch. Let's do it again. What do you know? It was a success. We made 2 movies. Or was it 3? I don't know. In any case, yes. You want to give away your ideas? Go ahead. You could be using them yourself. You could be writing your own stories. You could be writing your own books, your own skits, your own jokes, if that's what you want to do. Why are you giving everything away? Now, mind you, I have given my shit away for years and years and years. Well, I understand that, Charlie. You can listen to Billie Holiday without getting depressed. That's good. And it's wonderful to have a good appreciation of amazing music. And the blues are amazing. So that's great. But we're talking about when we want to deliberately change our vibration to one that is more capable of manifesting our desires, that means we've got to get in touch with our heart, number one. We have to be real with ourselves, and we have to lift our energy. And if we don't get our energy up by bringing our spirits up, then we're going nowhere. We're just repeating history. So if you want to stay there repeating history, going over the past, pissing yourself off, staying in these unhappy spaces, that's your prerogative. You can do that. But why would you do that when you have the same power, same amount of time? You can do the exact opposite. You can lift your spirit. You can make yourself like right up there, ready to manifest. You can bring synchronicities in. You can go on a rampage of appreciation, as Abraham Hicks calls it. You can do wonderful things for yourself in the same amount of time you destroy yourself by seeing yourself as somebody who needs to compare themselves to others and always will find themselves somewhat lacking, because that's what we do when we're comparing ourselves. You do not compare a palm tree with an oak tree. You do not compare bamboo with a pine tree. They're different trees. They have different beauty. They have different strengths, but they're all strong and they're all beautiful. So be your own tree. You don't have to look like everyone else in the forest. You don't have to be like everyone in the forest, but don't compare yourself to anybody else in the forest. Oh, really? That sounds very sad. She was a drug addict. Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. Exactly. And what happened to her sister trying to be like her? Oh, Jan, you can't be as beautiful as Marsha. Yeah, some of them were, sweetie, some of them were. But considering how long the people have suffered, I don't think she was ahead of her time. She was her own time. You were in love with Jan? My phone fell off when I read the word monotony. What was monotony? Who's monotony? Marsha or Jan? Who else do you listen to? Who would you listen to raise your spirits? So you're saying that she's so monotonous, you just ignore the fact that she's singing the blues? Is that the word you really want? Or is that your English failing you? I have no idea what old smack y'all talking about. My English is full on this. You're calling Billie Holiday monotony? I would not call your English flawless if you were calling her monotony. Why would she be your spirit animal if she was monotonous? Why would you listen to her if she was monotonous? Yeah, well, you're only 17. I guess you'll have to learn about how to use your emotions to create your future. You were not around for the early teachings. I've been broadcasting for 14 years, so you've only been on the planet for 17, so I'm fairly certain you did not get to hear any of them. Did somebody just knock on my door? Monotonous is over and over the same shit. Monotony is boring. Well, you can be tedious at times, but you're okay. Oh, oinkness! It's 4:32. You weren't. I'm okay. I'm back to Doc now. I was in love with Jan. Excuse me. It was the internet police. What is that following? I'm not sure what that was addressing. Oh, yes, we're late. That's what I was pointing out. We are late. I must excuse myself a minute. Oh, thank you for explaining, Maui. Gotcha now. Okay, we're caught up. Okay, I'm gonna put on a song. I'm gonna put on the opening song when I'm taking a 2-minute break here. 2.5 minutes. As long as the song plays. I'll be back. I woke up feeling like I really don't belong. I can't explain it. When I close my eyes, I see a strange reality. Am I dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? You wake up feeling like you really don't belong. You can't explain it, but when you close your eyes you see familiarity. Are you dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? Ooh, will you be tomorrow? Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Doc, and oink for holding the fort, even though no one has spoken since I've been gone, except for Maui. Okay. We may continue. What were we talking about? Happy music. Happy music. I, as a songwriter of old, an old songwriter, wrote all kinds of music in terms of mood. I wrote my heartbroken stuff as I went through different relationship things, because that's what you do when you start writing. You express yourself, and I was expressing myself as a teenager / young adult who was going through love is a many fucked up thing kinds of moments, and then, oh my God, I've never been happier in my life moments, and then, oh my God, I've never been more sad in my entire life moments, and then you write songs for all of that. And then finally you get sick of all of those songs and you stop singing them. Oh, I got a hello from my friend. I must tell her I've been. Hi. Hi. That's what I grew up with hi and hello. And when I moved down south, that's when I learned that people say hey. Hi. H-E-Y. Everything's hi. You see someone on the street, you just hi. You hey everybody. You hey strangers, you hi. Hi. That's how you knew if someone was from out of town. If they didn't hey you. If they didn't hey you, they were outsiders. Actually, on stream on YouTube at the moment, LOL, because it's funny that I can't talk right now, because I'm on YouTube. Just sending love and hugs. Not AMCAND. And hugs. Back tonight. Okay. And, oh, she's doing some good stuff. Okay. I'll come back to you. Maybe you're from Texas? Well, I was in North Carolina. The Carolinas, they say hi. Now, I've only driven through Texas, and I have never lived there, but I do have family in Texas. It is extended family. It's my ex's cousin, but we're like kept in touch all these years. So I got nice relatives in exchange from my ex-husband. I traded him in for his cousins. His cousins were way nicer than him. Love, 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 love. Okay. Such a sweet woman. She's in my SimCity club. Oh, back to you guys. So, what's the greeting? Well, aloha, right? That's what you say in Hawaii. So, that's a little easier. Howdy, partner. You say howdy, partner in Maui? On Maui? I don't remember hearing that. But I only had 5 days in Hawaii. Now, no one ever called me partner. I hear someone say that. You know what that brings to mind? That makes me think of a cowboy talking to a little kid when they're trying on their first hat or pony ride. Howdy, partner. Come on right up here. Let's see you sit pretty in that horse. If it's a girl, it'll be sit pretty. Sit pretty. like, sure, you don't say that to the guys. Sit pretty. Doc, you gotta listen to Chelsea's. Oh, from Texas. Okay, that's what I thought. Chelsea Handler, brilliant, funny Netflix. She's got her own special that just came out. I watched it last night. I laughed so hard I couldn't go to sleep until I was done watching the whole thing. Very bright woman. Married a bright comedian. I guess can never keep his name straight. Joe Coy? Does that sound familiar? I'm terrible. I just remember I think it's Filipino. And I'm not good with names anyway, remembering them. I'm good at pronouncing them once I know how they're supposed to be pronounced, but until then, don't really know what I'm doing. Let's bring that up and get it out that way. Seen the viewer shows. I've seen one on when she had a sitcom or interview show where she had guests. This was stand-up. That's the first time I've seen her do stand-up. I have seen her husband do stand-up. She talks about him and how they got together in this one. And I was like, yeah, Chelsea, you tell him. Not him, her husband, all men. E? What's the E for? E. I get that through that way. Just want to back it up. A couple of stitches. There we go. And they're going to get locked in that way. All right. Where'd we leave off? Yeah. It's just a single release on Netflix. As far as I know, I don't believe it's... I just turned it on yesterday and it was the banner show, so I know it's new. Well, the thing is, she doesn't mention that they're actually married. So it's almost like it's actually something from the beginning of the pandemic. So you might have seen it, although I've never seen it. And I would think I would have seen it. It might just be the first time it's on Netflix. I forget all that licensing shit. But I got the impression, apparently wrong, I'll have to look later, that it was brand new on Netflix. But they make things happen so quickly now. I guess if it was brand new, it would have to have been, a couple of things have been phrased differently. Because she's definitely married to the guy now. And it was more like, we're dating, but I'm serious about him kind of thing. Yeah, I have to look. In any case, it was very funny. She talks about the dogs that she rescued, and that's pretty funny. In case you're wondering why this is so bland today, I'm making Toblerina a towel. Something to wear while she's getting, polished and moisturized. That's it, Joe Coy. That's what I said. I was right. Koi always makes me think of the fish. Koi. And then because of the joy, it's like, is it Joy-Co? No, Joy, no, Joe, is it Joe? Koi, Poi, Joy. So I go through that with his name. But yeah, that's him. He was pretty funny too, but I like her better. Yep. But for the way he treats her, he's a god. Every woman should get treated like he treats her. I mean, unless they don't want to be. All choice. Makes me think of the doctor. Which doctor? of Doc Leonard McCoy. You see McCoy bones in Joe Coy? I don't see that at all. Also, Joe Coy is bald, and the doctor had a full head of black hair all the way to the end. Oh, I see what you're saying. McCoy, Joe Coy. Okay. Got it. Got it. I saw the rhyming there. I thought you were comparing like what they look like. But yeah. Got it. Well, that might be something that'll help me remember McCoy. Remember the Coy. Thank you. Even though I just would never have thought of put Dr. McCoy next to that man. So, yeah, I wasn't looking at the name. You're therefore superior. Oh, honey, you need to drop that word from your vocabulary. It's psychologically unhealthy. Also, it won't help you win friends and influence people. Okay. You know, there was a time I used to think that people would do better and they would learn to express themselves better if they could see their words in front of them. They would therefore have a moment to contemplate what they had just said and realize whether it made them sound smart or like an idiot or an asshole or just a jerk. And then came internet and chats, and where people can see their words right there in front of them, and they still don't see them. You know, something's not connected, and it's like invisible. They don't see anything of what they said. They don't see, or even kind of move over to think, I wonder how that is being perceived. So I thought it was pretty cool and but kind of pathetic about mankind. On Twitter, you know, it's like most people don't like to read this because I have used the word asshole in a tweet, and even using dollar signs for the S's, it doesn't fool AI. And they say, most readers don't like things that sound like this. Are you sure you want to post? It's like, fuck yeah. I don't, well, actually, I'm not posting too much, but I do retweet some things if they're really cute, cool, interesting, or important. I get another? Don't do that. I love these scissors. Nice work. All right. Okay, welcome back. Sweet dreams. Good night. See you next time when you're not studying. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. I think that's the wrong note to start with. Come here. Bonsoir, bonsoir. À demain. Getting twisty. Don't get twisty. Oh, I've got to get a piece of beeswax again. I'm going to have to get a piece of honey with comb in it. That's what I need. all one color until the end. And we can get it to be a little bit fancier. It's actually two colors here, but you're not really seeing very much of the warp stand out because it's so close to the weft. Oh, I don't know what they have. I have not a television, so I don't get any of those things. However, I do remember seeing a commercial for something that actually got my interest, and I could not see it because I didn't have a subscription. I'm trying to remember what it is. WandaVision. I wanted to see WandaVision. That looked intriguing. I think it was them who had it. Or was it Hulu? I'm guessing with the amount of money that had to go into it, I'm just going to guess it was Disney. I could be wrong. All I know is I couldn't see it, and it looked cool. Totally science fiction, fantasy, superhero, crazy shit kind of thing. Did you ever see the commercials? The trailers? I was fascinated by the trailers. And then, of course, the two main stars were doing late night appearances. They always make the rounds. And they were showing little teeny clips for here and there, but we're not giving away anything useful to me. And I decided, well, someday I might be able to see it. So for once, I did not go to Wikipedia and read everything about it. when I need to know the ending of something, that's where I go. Just to see if I'm going to want to watch it to its conclusion. Hey, don't get testy. Come on. You could get a little tighter there. There we go. Must have at least an inch to go. Oh. No, got a half an inch. Good. No. It's very weird. I don't know if it'd be my cup of tea, but I wanted to check it out. Just see if it was my cup of tea. But that was... There might have been one other thing more recently than that. But I honestly cannot remember. You know, commercials. Usually, I'm just looking at the count the seconds down thing to skip the commercial. The ad. Yeah, I don't know your taste, of course. I do like science fiction. But I don't like apocalyptic crap. I think that putting that into our consciousness is not helping humanity whatsoever. In fact, I think it's a negative. The minute something happens, we got a whole bunch of people now that goes, oh, it's going to be the next zombie apocalypse. This is going to turn us into zombies. It's like, oh, shut up already, you stupid people. Zombies. Maui, I honestly would never think of you in conjunction with the Disney Channel. The kind of stuff you most like to watch is not found on Disney. Now I gotta lock that in. To go the same way. I get that. I, it might be a call for you to get back to creating. Your brain is full of everybody else's crap. Now you gotta coalesce something for yourself. Oh, just a little more. Draw the towel. It's got to wrap around. We'll have to have some fringe. Yeah, I've noticed, like on YouTube, part of it is the algorithms, you know, it spits back more of what you've been doing and also the opposite of what you've been doing, which is not an accurate algorithm, because wanting something different doesn't mean you want the opposite. Okay. Yep, let's cut that up here. We don't want to stick it out the bottom. I'll get that in a bit. All right. A strange little towel. Oh, that made it a little too tight. I may have to do more now. I just lost some length. I do. I made it too tight at the bottom here. Well, well, well. Let's get another bit of that. We got plenty. And hopefully this will do it. Back here. Thank you. I'm going to have to make little guide rails. I have the same pattern I keep doing over and over again, but it's not the pattern I want to do. It's the pattern of inaccuracy here. The why I don't do this for a living video. Hey, come on. Come on, guy. Don't get all caught up. Okay. We're cool now. Okay, let's get rid of these. And now let's add some decoration if we can, but we're going to need a different needle. This is not going to cut it, it's too wide. We need a big mama. Look at that shine. This is a needle worthy of being called a needle. I think we're going, I don't know if I can get that through this. Let's find out. We need my little needle threader. Now I saw some internet so-called hacks on how to use different things to make this. And I tried a couple of them and they're full of shit. This is what you need. They're almost free, they're so cheap. Just get your own. Not getting mine. Your little metal thing goes through the eye of the needle. The thread goes through the little metal thing. This is easier. It doesn't mean it's easy. Okay, and now it's hanging like that, like a worm on a hook. And then you pull it back, and when you pull it back, you pull the thread through. Isn't that a miracle? I love that. Okay, now this is not a big difference in color. What don't men understand when you say, I don't chat, no private messages, and they say, thank you. Where are you from? Mm. Words with friends? Oh, the chat feature of it? That that chat feature barely works. It's like, yeah. That and Scrabble are so overloaded with ads. It's like it really makes it unpleasant to play. I only play because that's the only game Rich and I can play long distance. And my other friends, the only game they can play in Scrabble, but Scopely just sucks. All of their games have, like, they're overburdened with advertising. Very unpleasant experience. It's like, well, I want to play this, but damn it, you keep crashing because of this ad and crashing because of that. Someone is upset when you don't private chat. Oh, I just put it off. It's like, I'm here to play the game. I'm not interested in chatting. This is not my social circle. Fuck them. They don't count. Who the hell are they? Oh, you don't chat. No, I don't. You gonna play the game or what? I play two people mainly. One in Scrabble, one in Words with Friends. And then we've got Mr. Gary. I play him in Scrabble. We have one game going. Takes us forever to finish a game now. And my ex-landlady, I play one game with her. We don't talk. I have my chat. No. Just block it. You don't have you don't have to accept anything. If they don't like it, they can find someone else to play with, right? A lot of people don't like to chat, especially with Scrabble. They're there to play, they're serious, or they just want to escape into playing, like me. And we're battling this stupid, well, if you pay us $12 a month, we'll take away all the ads. $12 a month, $9 a month. Keep the game. Because there's a bunch of other games I can play. I don't need that. So now I've just been like, any game that's too burdened with ads, I just delete. War game is... Oh, that's the worst place. Because you're strategizing. The last thing you need is someone babbling. Yeah, I think some people, they just don't get it. Man, there's so little contrast. I don't. It's not going to really show much as a. I wanted it to be really subtle, but that is really subtle. I saw a clip of people working with ultra miniatures, and there's someone that does micro crocheting that is absolutely gorgeous and stunning, and wow, you know, they know how to read a pattern. And they know more than one stitch. There's a woman, I believe she's on Etsy, and I'm not sure where she is. Romania, maybe? Russia? Out there. She takes photographs of one's pet that has passed, and using felt and glass eyes, she basically does, they look so real that looks like it's taxidermy. It's freaky. And they're in frames. I mean, they're beautiful. They're like living portraits of your baby. It's like, holy shit. She gets the colors down perfectly. Oh, and she does them in the positions, whatever the photograph is. Someone had lost their little poodle, and the poodle was in a harness, and the picture was sent with the, you know, when they're, you know, how they're walking on the street and the little legs up in the air. And this woman did that whole thing in felt, just identical with the leash and everything. It's like, she is brilliant. Just what a talent. Her color matches are amazing. I guess you're also welcome to send some of the animal's real fur that, like, you've combed out and collected, because that can be incorporated in felting. Matter of fact, the first woman I met in person that was doing felting had saved all of the fur from combing her cat. And because she was into felting, she just stuffed it in a bag. And she ended up making a bracelet of fur beads. It was really interesting. So I asked her how she did it. I said, to just roll up a little ball of the fur, and then you use a regular pin to keep pushing the fur over on top of each other, and you keep adding it and just poke it in. And it's like, oh, look at that. Just keep poking in, it stays in. And then what did she do? Oh, after she made the bead, she washed them in water, and they shrink, and they turn into a really tight little bead. I was very impressed. It's like, oh my God, you're carrying your cat around with you on your wrist. That is so cool. I wish I had known about this. Yeah, you stay there. I've known before I lost my cats. Oh, you lost it. I still have to fix you. Darn. Well, got no choice. Pull out the magic thing again. Oh, I thought you said something else. Do you remember the Pogo games, Maui? One of the first ones that had the chat rooms and all that. That one was definitely geared toward trying to get people to talk to each other. Different vibe. But I didn't really want to chat with anybody there. It wasn't being antisocial so much as I just didn't want to start meeting a bunch of strangers, because you don't know they're being honest. You know, it's just too risky on the internet. Hey. Could I do that? I don't know if that's quite long enough. Maybe with a shorter needle. Yeah, that's gonna just go for it. Yeah, Pogo was the first one that had that bubble popping thing as part of a bunch of different games. It was like an arcade. They had a chat that was always, running. They had lots of rooms for the same games. So if you wanted to do pop the balloons, they had a bunch of different games. And I was only into the balloon popping one. I want to spend all day there. I definitely didn't want to. I didn't go there to make friends. I went there to release frustrations in popping balloons. Pogo was around a long time ago, back when there was still AOL. Well, I guess there still is some AOL Messenger. That happy little yellow guy. Maybe this will work better. Okay. Get up there. It was around the same time as Blog TV. Same decade. You couldn't broadcast from there. It was just a site that you could play games on. I think they still exist. Pogo.com. Don't go crazy here. Yeah, shorter needle would have been better. Well, let's just go for it. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, they were. That was the first time I saw a gamer community. Okay. Yay. Now let's put this dangerous sucker away. Come here, danger. Ouch. I didn't think you would go for too many of those kinds of games. Our light is gone. My goodness. All right, let us free it so I can make the fringe. I can leave that up, but it's really not going to help me. I'm going to end up taking it off anyway. I have to say that's satisfying. All right. If I did this right, we've got 12 strings now instead of 11. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It might be long enough to do this. Hey. Don't get funny. Okay. That worked. Try that again. Come on. Excuse me. You remember the movie 1941? One of the funniest movies ever. Yay, she'll have a towel tomorrow. Oh, Kevin Bacon in his first role, I believe. Um, Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi is one of the stars. And this black guy whose name I never frickin' remember. But he's one of the stars. Oh, God. Mary Jo Sperber, I think it is. She passed away very young of, I think, an ovarian cancer. But faces you would recognize for sure. Oh, God, yeah. Okay, let me think. He's fucking hilarious. Cutie Pie. What is his name? He was in Animal House. He starred in that. And then he plays a pilot who can't really fly. Just likes to use the planes to have sex in. It's Good movie. It's funny. Oh, oh God, yeah. There's so many famous actors in it. Slim Pickens, I think he's in it too. Yeah, look it up. 1941. That's the whole name of it. John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, and I forget the other names, but you will recognize some of them. It has some stunts in there that are freaking amazing, especially at the end. Yeah, you gotta see it. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah. Wait, it's a cast of famous people. Almost everybody in it is a famous person or becomes famous shortly after. Okay, girl. We have a basic towel for you now. Should we cut the fringe way off? Oh, don't want you to take off your hat. I have to comb out the fringe. Retry the chat. Well, I think it's about time I go. I should address dinner, which is the same as yesterday's dinner, only with an extra piece of hot sausage, which was part of my lunch. My breakfast / lunch. So I'll have a shrimp and veg. This is testing my patience because I don't like to really do combing with a knife. I have to fuzz it up. It's Miller time. God, that was such gross beer, wasn't it? They still make Miller? Miller High Life in a clear bottle. A brew that should not be exposed to the sun. Grease Monkey, I have Gary Payton. I will join you. Now that we have to make sure that, toe is dressed. She needs a basic, it's okay to get this soaked in coconut oil thing. Yeah, they probably do. Actually, see, I used to like Coors when Coors was snuck over the border to the East Coast. But it's been compared to piss water, just like Miller. I thought it tasted better. But I am not a beer person, so I'm not the person to go to for that kind of assessment. And also, that was 40 years ago. There were other brews I had that were definite brews. Like, I used to actually like stout. So I didn't realize it was called Guinness 40 years ago, but that's what I would drink if I had to drink a beer. Or there was this Jamaican one that we used to import, a place in New London used to import. And that was pretty good. Rainier? Okay, well, that's your coast, right? That's more of a local for you. We have, out here, we had Rolling Rock. It had a well-shaped bottle. Whoops. Oops, sorry, Toby. Oh, everything's off the... Did I move my camera? What the hell? Here we go. Tublerina. Let's get you warm. It's, I think, still snowing out. I could not really get into beer because no sooner would I drink it than I had to pee it out. So... as someone who had to stand on stage for a solid 45 minutes without going off, that was impossible if I drank beer. So I generally abstained from any alcohol. Well, I'd do a little, like half a shot before starting the entire night. And then halftime, I would probably do the other half of that shot. I didn't like to get loaded because, except for when I played at Billy Wilson's Aging Still 40 years ago. That was a place you needed to get loaded to play. Then, but most gigs, you wanted to keep your wits about you so that you don't blow out your vocal cords by being too exuberant and not knowing your own, You get drunk, you lose control of your body. I didn't want to lose control of anything because, woman on stage. Yeah. I don't drink beer, but when Rich and I went to Baltimore, he tried some different ones because they had a lot of craft beers around. And whenever he tried one, I took a sip of it just to see what the difference was. Yeah, that sounds like Rainier would have beer around. So you were close to the brewery. When I lived in California, I lived close to the where Miller was done. Miller was made. And it was so industrial where they were, so loud. I remember being new to California when we had to go on that freeway. Pollution, the noise, the heat. Like, this is why you want to be in California? I can train all year. We need to go where we're led at the time and be ready to change when things change. So I am going, sorry dear, knocked her towel right off her. I wonder if I can come up with a clever little pin thing. I have oodles of pins. Okay, let's see if one will work. Back, down you buttons. Ooh, look at those itsy bitsy teensy weensy gold ones. What if we deck that out? Oh, that's kind of big. I think I've seen these smaller. I think I had one that was smaller. Looks like I've been here. It's the same. I do not know how that woman ended up with so many of these little itsy bitsy teensy weensy. But yeah, they are. An abundance of them. And that's too big. Well, if I'm ever looking for a safety pin, remind me. I have plenty. They're in my button box. This used to be one of the perks of buying celestial tea. My own little metal tea box. I always liked that one. I had a couple others. I don't know what happened to them though. Okay, so what do we want to do? Let's make sure. Well, this should be decorative if we're going to do that. Might as well just use some tape. Yeah, I think we'll just use tape. But I'll keep this out in case Toblerina changes her mind. She will be trying it on tomorrow. We'll see how well we did. Okay. Well, you got some good grease monkey. That's funny because I had some of that. Greasy monkey. That was pretty damn good. But I'm all out of that. And I'm almost out of white cookies. I'm not sure what it was now. It was one of those crosses. Like wedding cake and cookies. Or something like that. Or it came up with a completely different weird name. Whatever it was delicious. Almost out. But one thing I'm not almost out of is cake mix and water. I can have all the mug cakes my stomach can handle, which is about one a day. Any more than that, and I'll be... Also, I won't be able to stand up anymore. Okay, so we will continue tomorrow. I will go and engage Gary Payton and see how he's doing. And I will go heat my dinner. So tomorrow, I'll be back. Tomorrow's Tuesday, right? Yes, I'm not going anywhere tomorrow. Tomorrow's all desk work. And if I'm lucky, if my toe... Spam. Have a good night. Have a good Neela. Have a cannoli. I'll have a cake. I will have a mug cake. I do need food. My carbs have gone out of my brain. You all have a wonderful evening. Maui, it's still kind of early for you. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Hope that rain comes your way. Not too much, but just enough. Wankiness. I don't know what weather you're expecting, but I hope it's good. Sweet dreams, everybody.